Well, hello, and I swear I just turned the camera on. I know we have this problem all the time. That shouldn't have happened. Oh, I see. Oops. The power is not plugged into the camera. My bad, 100%. We're going to get this started. Oh my goodness. Silly me. I forgot I halfway set the camera back up because we had a meetup the other night, and so I took the camera to the meetup, and I got home and I thought, oh, let me go ahead and set this up. But I don't know if I just forgot halfway through or what happened, but I didn't actually get the battery pack back in the camera. So I turned the camera on. I thought everything was good, but it wasn't yet. Okay, and then, all right, now we're back, right? Okay, well, hello, and welcome back then. Here we are finally, and we got a little bit of extra light today because I need some of the sunshine coming from the glorious window there. Okay, so what we're going to do is, for those of you that haven't watched the channel before, webinstall.dev is the best way to get your dev tools, and it is a site that I run with a friend and then a couple of contributors that are fairly frequent in helping identify either issues, such as when a new platform comes out or something. Anyway, we're going to go through some pull requests for webinstall.dev. And I've got 8 open right now, and we're going to see how many of these we can get done. I think it is pretty much all of them. I think pretty much all of them we can work through. And that's going to be the next 4 hours or so. We're just going to work through these pull requests. Starting with GPG, I'm going to do something kind of sneaky. So I have these rules in place so that there has to be a review. And the idea was when Ryan and I were working on this more regularly together, it made a lot of sense to have the review process in place. And I still would like the review process in place because of the way that the nature of this, it's installing things for people. There should be review here. But to get around that, what I do is I will relayer things on top of other people's pull requests. So I'm gonna end up with essentially one pull request. All 8 of these are going to be the same thing because I'm going to rebase and layer everything, and then I'm going to go approve it and then accept it all at the same time. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with GPG because that's something that I was working on recently. So if you're not aware, GPG is a way to sign your Git commits. And this goes actually in the commit itself. So SSH is how you do a Git commit, but GPG allows you to sign it. So we could say, well, we know that it was you that committed by virtue of the fact that SSH tells us so. Well, it does at the GitHub level, because at the GitHub level, whatever SSH key you use is the user that has made the commit. But at the commit level, it's the email that's used. And so the GPG signature confirms that. Anyway, I started working on that. I don't know how profitable in terms of its real usefulness it's going to be, but I started working on it and I got pretty close to done. So I'm going to finish up with it. And where we left off last time was, and you can get to it right now if you want to install GPG on your Mac, beta.webinstall.dev gpg is the place to go for that. And then I also give basically, this is how everything is done. So if you didn't want to use the installer, you can pretty much glean everything from this almost, except for the unpacking it from the Mac PKG to the point where you can actually install it locally. Anyway, so for those of you that are joining in, welcome. Glad to have you. And before we get too much further, 2 things I want to let you know. One I've already forgotten, of course, and the other is a word from our sponsor, but not really our sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew. It's time to open focus. I guess we already opened focus. I guess I should say it is time to, and then crack open focus, for dramatic effect. Anyway. Oh, serenity. That's amazing. All right, I need to adjust my chair a little bit too. Always having problems with the chair. Always. Can count on that. It's perpetual. Okay, so the thing that I realized that I want to do is I want to split this out a little bit. So I have the installer for GPG is good. The way that it is good. There's probably a couple tweaks I could make if I read through this, whatever, but it's good. It's good enough to commit. But what I want to do as well is make a GPG pubkey, and this will be just like the SSH pubkey, where if you already have GPG installed, this gets your public key for you. Creates a public key and a private key if you don't already have one. Otherwise, lists your primary public key. So that's what we're going to do for this. Is I'm going to take a look at SSH pubkey real quick, which I think is just a link to SSH. Let's see. Let's look at the install for this, because the install for this is going to be the same thing. I'm going to take this. You know what? I'm going to make this into a function. So this should be function install SSH pubkey, and then this should do install SSH pubkey. And I've talked about this a little bit before, but there's a reason that I wrap these in functions, and it basically has to do with a concern that what happens. There's two problems. One is if you don't put things in a function and you curl bash them, then when you curl bash them, it is possible that half of the script is downloaded and the script begins to execute, but the script doesn't finish and leaves you in a bad state. So if you wrap things in a function, you don't have that problem because there's nothing for the script to execute until it gets to the very end. It's just building up until then. Now, you could also do that just by wrapping things in brackets, which I've done here, which you saw before I made this change. The problem with that is the way that it does variable expansion. I'm not expert enough to remember what the difference is, but there was something that was happening with variable expansion that didn't make sense. And I think what it was is that the variable expansion was happening before the commands were running, and then the variables could expand to an error message in some case. I don't remember what it was, but there was something weird with the variable expansion, and so wrapping everything in a function is the right thing to do. And you don't have to include the word function, but I do because it's explicit and clear, and I like explicit and clear. So let me just go ahead and copy this, and we're going to do the exact same thing for the gpg pubkey. Install.sh, and I'll probably copy some of the wording as well. And if we go out of this and go back into it, we should get the same syntax highlighting. There we go. And actually, probably do well just to put that up at the top. I'm going to go do that with the other one too. Let's just put those up at the top. That's setting bash to strict mode so that more errors become errors. Okay, and then what was this one? Oh, and this is just a generic installer of this type, so that's fine. So we just gpg-pubkey, right? My cmd packages. Yep. Oh, good. I like the way that I did that because it actually works out really well. So great for reuse there. Okay. Cool. So I just need to have, and I can do this for Windows as well, as it turns out. Maybe kind of sort of. I don't want to do it for Windows because the problem with the gpg-pubkey for Windows that I don't want to do it right now. I need somebody, if you know somebody that's good at PowerShell, that enjoys PowerShell, that can sit down and rattle out PowerShell in a few seconds, I would love to have them involved in this project because there's a lot of little things that if you do PowerShell day to day will be really easy for you, but if you don't do PowerShell day to day, it's kind of obnoxious. I think if you don't know how to use grep, then you cannot say that you know how to use the command line. It is not fair to say you know how to use the command line if you don't know how to use grep. It is not fair to say that you are well-versed in the command line if you are not using RG. There might be some, there are some old people out there that haven't been apprised, or not, is that the right word? They're not up on the times, and they only know about grep. They don't know about RG. But if you're under 40 and you want to claim to know command line, you should be using RG, acceptance scripts, using grep, whatever. This is beside the point. I'm off in the weeds again. Welcome to AJ's world. But I'm going to take a look at this install.ps1. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really care about that. That can work just fine. The problem is actually the gpg-pubkey. Yeah. I wonder if there's a way with GPG to just get the first key. Let's see. GPG export first key. Because the problem with GPG is you can manage a bunch of keys, and I really don't understand why you would need to do that. I get the theoretical argument that some people put forward is you should use a different key for everything that you do, but I only get that as a theoretical argument because in practice that just sounds very difficult, and I don't know that much software would support that. See, you have to do export and then give this thing here the identifier of the key. But I just want to say export whatever the first one is. Because there's not even, as far as I can tell, there's not even a good way to get what the ID of the key is, which is really silly. So you get this output, right? So here's your output of all your keys. It is not obvious that that part is the part that's the key ID. That is not obvious to me. So these are things that you have to know. That and I don't like that. I don't like that, not one bit. But let me see. Do I have? I should have GPG on this computer, maybe, because I would have installed it, right? I'm just going to check to see if there happens to be a command to get a key by index or some such. Because on PowerShell, I'm not going to be able to. This was my whole point. On PowerShell, I'm not going to be able to pass over to grep and then get a specific line and then tokenize the line to be able to get a specific data out of it. So I either need to, I could probably do something where I just get the first line. So if I could get this to output in a format where it just gives me the key ID, that would be ideal. So I could say list keys, but actually just get the ID and not all of the other output. Okay. Maybe if I do help and list keys? No. Maybe if I do list keys and help? No. Maybe if I do list keys and a bad option? Output file, verbose. I don't know. I could have sworn that there was some sort of options for this. Hey, Kai, what's up? Did I see the news that SSH keys can sign things? No, I did not. I did not see that news. I saw people asking, why can't we use SSH to just sign things? Tell me more. I want to know. This is awesome stuff to hear. I'm going to do a little bit of googly goo right now to see if we can CCC what we can CCC. SSH sign git. Can we sign git commits with SSH? Yeah, this is what I came across. Use my SSH key to sign git commits. Why would I sign my git commits with a GPG key when I have an SSH key? I agree with these. SSH signed SSH certificates, SSH key signing tool. So yeah, you're going to have to give me a little bit more detail. Oh, by the way, Kai, here's what I'm going to do because you probably can't post a link right now. because the channel is not big enough for me to have moderators, and it is a channel, therefore it gets bots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a link to the Discord, and then just DM me on Discord with your YouTube channel. Oh, I already know what your YouTube channel is. I'm gonna add you to the list of approved people real quick. So, or I think, let me see if I can get to your YouTube channel. Because if I can just paste your YouTube channel and then I can allow you. Okay, yeah, you can tweet me too. Oh, wow, you're cool enough to have your own name. That's neato. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look at that. You don't even have to have the C there. Cool. So I'm going to add you just so for the future you can... Living off Discord, since I whined, it doesn't allow you to export messages. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I don't use those platforms for messages that I care to persist. But can you not get access to the SQLite database for Discord? I just assumed it was using SQLite like Skype and most other programs that run local messages. Now let me see here. I'm going to go into settings, and I'm going to go into community, and I'm going to approved users, and I'm pasting you in. Boom. Okay, so now Kai, you can do anything as far as what people are allowed to do in the comments. Walking to your local bakery. Rock on. All right, well, in the meantime, I'm going to continue with this GPG stuff. Plus, I'd probably finish it anyway, because the whole sunk cost fallacy, it's hard to swallow that what you're doing is worthless and move on. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to do the one for PowerShell yet. Was there maybe a -- short? I know there was some sort of option to this thing. I'm gonna look it up in just a second. Actually, we'll probably see it in my gpg install.sh. We will probably see list secret keys. Create GPG key. All right, so I'm going to move this out. Or maybe not move it out, maybe just copy it. I think it's okay if it's in both places. Them gpg-pubkey, and we're going to do gpg-pubkey.sh is going to be this. And bin bash set e set u, paste this all in there. And then function, I don't know, gpg-pubkey. Well, I guess this one doesn't matter. It doesn't have to have the wrappings around it. Okay, so we got that there. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is if the person, I'm going to assume, I think it's fair enough to assume that if they're using GPG, they're using it with GitHub. And so what I'm going to say is if they don't have a first name, or if they don't have a name, wait, is it taking away those quotes? Okay, I guess it doesn't need the quotes for whatever reason. Okay. And if I were to do that, then would this work? Or that wouldn't work. Okay, only indent with tabs. Now I need to allow tabs. Dagnabbit. I'm not doing it. Okay, so this is all right. But I want to do... All right, we're going to do return 1 on all of these. And then I should be able to do... If not this, then we're going to echo... Please define your... Please create a private key. No, I don't want to start with that. Please set your email and your name. Please set your name and email first. There we go. And then I'll say, or manually create a private key first. All right, this is what we're going to do. So put some echo in there, some echo in here, some echo in here, some echo in here, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it is git config set. Let me look this up real quick. Git set email. So Kai, tell me a little bit more about yourself if you're still watching. Well, I'm. It's been a while since you've been on the channel, and I've forgotten some of the details. I think you were in Korea. Is that correct? Let's go to git first time setup. Git config. No, let's see, email. There we go. Git config. There we go. These are the two commands that I want. By the way, when you're writing documentation, do not start with a $sign. People that know what the $sign means know what to do already, and otherwise you're just making it difficult for people to copy and paste. In this example, I guess, maybe it's okay that you can't copy and paste because you don't want people actually setting their email to John Doe. So I guess maybe use the $sign if you want to break copy and paste for people so that they don't do something stupid. But in general, don't put the $sign. And if you do, then put it in, do it as a CSS style. So that each line begins with a $sign so that copy and paste will work and won't copy the $sign, because otherwise you're breaking copy paste. 1, 2, 3, 4, starting on the 5th. Yeah, that's right. So we would say, actually, that shouldn't be double quotes. That should be single quotes. I can't think of a reason you'd want your name in double quotes. I don't think you'd want to do any bash expansion. So shame on them for using double quotes. And then I guess you don't need to put your email in quotes because you shouldn't have special characters in your email. gpg-pubkey. All right, so something went wrong here. Was it complaining about? Oh, yeah, I got the then wrong. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to create the key, and then if everything goes well, I need to go look up my notes on how to sign git commits. Maybe I put this part in here. Because we need, there we go. We need to get the key. Putting this in PowerShell would be obnoxious. So again, if you know anybody that is great at PowerShell and can translate grep and cut into PowerShell, I would love to have their expertise and make a little cheat sheet of how to do simple things in PowerShell so that I could readily go make installers for other programs. To work on Windows. Of course, I probably could go do the lookup of it. It's frustrating because I need to have a cheat sheet for it. Oh, yeah. See, it does have this long list secret keys long. There we go. All right, so we're going to do list secret keys long. We're going to grep sec. We're going to cut. We're going to get the key ID, and then we're going to export the key. And we need to save this to downloads. Let's see, I kind of want to set my name or my email. Maybe I'll have a function get email. And we could do it like this. Get email. And so this will return the string. Whatever is in Bash you don't return, you just echo. And then you parse what you echo. So I think this is fair. So what should this end in? It should probably be, we should probably do myemail.gpg. I think it's ASC is the common extension that people use for GPG keys. Am I right or am I wrong? Anybody know? I'll just try running this. Well, let me first SSH pubkey. I'm going to copy the README for this one. And we're going to do gpg-pubkey, and I'm going to paste the README, and then I'm going to replace all instances of SSH with GPG. Oh, whoops. GnuPG. And then let's replace all instances of lowercase SSH with GPG. And then we'll go through and fix the rest of it at some point. But right now, let me just do, we're going to do export Webby host, there we go. And then I'm going to do Webby gpg-pubkey. Interesting. What's interesting about it is that with SSH pubkey, we actually run it as part of the installer. Run the command. Yeah, there we are. Run the command. So my question is why, maybe the command did run, but it didn't work. HN is my search. Hacker News. I'm using Restream.io's chat overlay. This thing. That's Restream.io. I'm using OBS. I could be convinced to use Streamlabs. I'm not really clear on what the advantages and disadvantages are. I don't know why I ended up with OBS, probably because it's more popular because it's completely free and it's the original that Streamlabs was forked from. But there is a plugin that I want to get that lets you know when people subscribe and certain types of interactions, likes and subscribes and stuff like that. I saw that Streamlabs has an OBS plugin for that. But feel free to link me to a blog post if you've got something where you've figured out how to set up things the way you like it. Huh, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't click save. Okay, let me go check again. I pasted you in. So this is the thing with the web these days, is that half of the forms require you to, well, I'd say more than half the forms now don't require you to hit save anymore, but some of them still do. And this one has a UI where it looks like the action takes effect without clicking save, but it actually doesn't. So the UI updates in a way where it shows your username in the approved users, and it doesn't have any sort of pending icon by it. But now I just clicked save. So now you should be able to submit a URL. If not, then it's probably one of those issues where a session has to time out or something. Okay. So let's see what I can learn about this. gpg-pubkey, gpg-pubkey. Let's see what I can echo here. Oh, and I always forget how to do this. Is it like that? I think it's this. So this is no config. This is no name, and then we'll do a no email. Oh, I don't need to do anything. Right. I need to go look at my SSH pub key and see what I'm doing when I print things out to the screen. SC2088. I'll check. Is it shell check? Okay, cool. Oh, the who am I is a nice touch on that. Okay. Keygen. All right. So we're going to swappy do this around a little bit. Wait, what did I have it that way over here? Oh. Because I don't have that as a function yet for whatever reason. But I don't think I really need to. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. Whatever. No, I won't. I'm going to leave this as is. Okay. So GPD. What do people recommend that we use for the extension on GPG here? Tweeted me the URL. Cool. I'm going to go check it out real quick. All right. I'll bring it in for you. HN search. Oh, wait. Oh, no. It did the Twitter URL instead of the real one. I don't like that about Twitter. Okay. Use SSH to sign data. There we go. That's the actual link. Yes. Oh, I'm going to bring this over real quick. So yeah, this is, I don't think that GPG has to be absurdly complex, but I think that the people who like GPG like that it's absurdly complex. Yes, security professionals sounding the alarm, because anytime you make something complex, you're not making it more secure. Complexity is insecurity, because wherever you have complexity, the users will do what they need to do to make their experience better, which is either going to be ignore the tool or work around the tool. Yeah. And I don't know about the crufty old cryptography. SSH is everywhere. Yes, 100% agree. A key distribution is easy. 100% agree. Yeah, agree with that. Cool. Oh, nice. You'll soon be able to sign Git commits with SSH. Awesome. Git 2.3.4. So what are we at these days? Let me go see real quick. 2.17. So that's probably because I'm on an LTS release. And then what do we have over here? 2.3. Okay, so we're probably a few years away. I would say at least 2 years away from being able to use this, because Ubuntu 22.04 LTS is going to need to come out. I guess that doesn't make it 2 years away. Well, but then you got to give 6 months for people to adopt things and whatever. So yeah, let's say we're about 2 years away from this being something that the average everyday person that's just doing their development work is going to be able to use. But that's way cool to know, and I want to make sure that I note this in the, put a to-do on this, add GPG. I'm just going to put a little note. Note, in about 2 years, this will be moot as SSH key signing has landed in Git. Just needs to make it through the OS update cycles. There we go. So at least documenting that for myself. Okay. Interesting. Allowed signers. Yeah, okay. Cross-protocol attacks. Don't need to worry about that because it's just standard RSA, ED, all that. Cool beans. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Absurd complexity, yes. 8 different ways of encoding. Wow. Yeah. No one who does serious work with scissors uses their multi-tool scissors regularly. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Mired in backwards compatibility. A group of technical people were placed in a room with a computer and asked to set up PGP. 2 hours later, they were never seen or heard from again. Oh. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to read through all of this, but I think I would probably agree with most of it. And anything doing security, we need to rewrite in Rust. And that is happening, and I'm really glad about it. But C is not safe for, well, period. C is not safe. The end. End. Okay. So what was I doing anyway? We're echoing out here. Let's see. This should, let's put it in downloads. It should not be possible for downloads to not exist, since it's where Webby downloads everything in the first place, but I'll just go ahead and put that there just to be safe, because you never know. To do, use the comment, if any, for the name of the file. I think I already conquered that, because I decided that the way to do this is to use the host for the comment so that it matches the way that git commits work. All right. Okay, but I don't actually want to do it that way. Oh, and we do want to quote this. That is correct. And then, wait, why do we want to remove? Oh, that's not necessary. We don't copy that over. So we can remove that one. Yeah, we don't need to do that either. We could put that up here. And then we're going to cat the actual file. What is this saying? Yeah, we don't want the tilde. Got it. But we do want to expand this, so we'll do that. Okay. Oh, and let me get back to the comments here, because I lost those for a second while I was looking around. Not easy to revoke or replace an SSH key. Yeah, I mean, so generally when I think of revoking an SSH key, I don't publish revocation of an SSH key. I just remove it from the list of trusted things. And I would think the same is true, you know, so for example, on my local keychain, I guess GPG does provide a mechanism where you can subscribe to updates on somebody's keys. So they can publish that they revoked something, and then you can subscribe to their revocation. So I guess that's true. Yeah. Okay, so then we're going to cat. Okay, let me run SSH-pubkey real quick and just see. This looks good. We've got a blank line, that, and then this is going to standard out, and these are going to standard error. So that looks good to me. So let me go ahead and run gpg-pubkey. And nothing happened. Let me go ahead and run Webby gpg-pubkey so I get the latest version. Let me go ahead and make sure that I am exporting Webby host, and then there we go. So nasty. Interesting. And so then if I run gpg-pubkey again, I get the same thing. Good. All right, this is good. I like this. So let's go ahead and add this one. And I will go ahead and look up the PowerShell stuff. PowerShell grep. I don't actually want grep. I want the equivalent functionality. How to use PowerShell's grep. String select. All matches. No. All right. This is too complicated. And I should be able to get PowerShell on my Mac here. I haven't done this in a while. But you can install PowerShell on Mac. So let's see if I can use the string select. So what if I did gpg list keys, list secret keys? Is that even any different? Yes, it is different slightly somehow. I don't actually know that this is any different. This looks exactly the same, except that it says sec instead of pub and SSB instead of sub, but it's giving the same key ID. So whatever. All right, let's just go back to list keys, and then what is it? Select string pattern. And then I'd want to do pub. Okay, cool. So can I get cut? If I can get cut, maybe I could be happy. So let's do PowerShell cut. Yeah, you have a bunch of machines where you copied your compromised key to. Not easy to find the machines in my experience. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, there should be an easy way to solve that problem. But I think that the way to solve that problem should be... There should be some sort of mechanism by which you can publish a key. This is the thing, is there's no mechanism to publish a key, and so there's no mechanism to publish a revocation. Because you should be able to publish a key, and then the act of getting the key should register you for updates to that key. And then when the key is revoked, you should get the notification. We don't have that for SSH, and we could, I suppose. PowerShell tips for Bash users. That's what I need. What is an equivalent of the cut command? Yes, that's what I want to know. Okay, this one's too hokey. What is this even? What? Oh, it's just a listing page. Bah, garbage. All right. For each, what the heck is $_split? Is this a thing? Can we can just call .split on strings, I guess? How do I... I'm a little confused. Do I have to use this? Do I have to? But I don't want to do it on file name. I want to do it so for each object, maybe. Okay, let's try it out. So we're going to do for each object, and then we're going to do a split. I guess we'll have to do a for each object again to get further along here. We'll see. So we're going to split on, what was it? So I think I have to do list keys long. What? No public key? Well, that's not good. So apparently PowerShell has some different variables for GPG. Wait, okay, list keys, list secret keys long? I'm so confused. You say you can list keys. Okay, list secret keys. All right. Maybe this? I'm very confused. This did work in Fish, right? I was able to do this and get things in the right format, yeah? I am so confused right now. Let's see. First, let's go back and take a look. I obviously copied something incorrectly. Oh, key ID format long. Got it. Okay. And do I get the same thing if I just do list keys? And then I would just be looking for pub rather than sec. And that's the only difference? Yep, it appears to be. So I'm going to do list keys then. Or no, I guess I should do list secret keys because yes. Okay, I know why I need to do list secret keys, because I could be listing people that I subscribe to, and I don't actually want to do that. I only want to be listing. Okay, so list. Yeah, this should only be list secret keys in all cases. I should not ever be doing list keys. Good. Okay. All right, so now I'm ready to go back into PowerShell and try again. It is nice to have PowerShell. Oh, this is interesting. Why did I not? Is PowerShell publishing in a different format again? I hate it when they change the. So people don't understand. When you publish to GitHub releases, you are making an API. So don't go changing what your GitHub releases naming convention is without telling people first, because you have published effectively an API. GitHub releases an API. If you publish in a particular format, I'm guessing they must have changed their release format. Or maybe this is still a new, it says stable. Maybe I have it selecting LTS or something. Because that should have installed if they released it on GitHub releases. Although I don't remember seeing that message a minute ago. So, okay. Oh, and I don't have, oh, dang it. Seriously, do we not have history? We don't have history in PowerShell? Okay, so what was I doing? Select string. And then I do -pattern, because heaven forbid that be the implicit thing that you probably want to do. Okay, and then I got to do this. So PowerShell is much more like a programming language. It's a very strange programming language, but it is much like a programming language where I don't know, it feels kind of strange to me. Okay. Match info does not contain a split. All right, so I got to go learn about this. I guess it's more powerful in some ways, but why would, this is the thing. For something like Bash, you want it to be simple and stupid, and this is okay, because when you need more power, then you go to something like Go. You don't stay in Bash. And so PowerShell, it seems like it's attempting to be a middle ground. It's not easy to use for command line scripts, and it's not a actual programming language. It's in this hybrid space, which I guess the Microsoft people believe that hybrid space needs to exist. But how do I get a specific match out of this? Select object, file name, pattern line. Maybe I just want the pattern that matches. I mean, I guess this is powerful, but it's not simple. I don't actually want to display this stuff. I want to be able to use it. Yeah. How do I assign this to a variable? That's the question that they didn't answer that I need to know. How do I assign this to a variable and access it? Okay, so maybe I shouldn't do a for each object. Maybe I need to do a select object, and then I need to tell it that what I want to select is the string. No, is the pattern. Select object pattern. Okay. Maybe do I put slashes in here? Do I do pub? I don't know. What? I guess maybe I wanted line. Is that what I wanted? Pub. So select string. Select object line. Is that what I want? Nope. That's not helpful. But if I learn this once, then that's all I'll need, right? The line. Okay. And there was a way to do context to say which lines I want to select from. So I want, let me see if I can look at what the output was again, so I can get a better idea of what this needs to look like. So list secret, dang it, secret keys. So maybe, are there any other places that have slashes? That has slashes. So maybe I want pub sec.star/ maybe? Nothing. Okay, like this, no? Regex. How do I use a regex in PowerShell? Okay, we use backslashes in PowerShell because of course. Okay, so we start it with a backslash, and that's how we tell it it's a regex. So let's start it with a backslash. Maybe I don't escape the slash. Maybe not a valid regular expression. Maybe I put /b. Nope, that didn't help. And /b at the end. I don't know. I don't know why it thinks that it's not a valid regular expression. Because it's obviously trying to find emails in this one. Oh, bother. All right, let's try again. No, I don't actually want. So can I just do .star? Okay, there we go. .star/. .star //. Come on now. Oh, sec. It's got to be sec. Sorry. Okay, great. So I've got that, and then now from that I want to. Can I get a select first 10? Select, let's see, pattern. I don't know what to do here. Select object. Context 1. I think I could do context I think this will always be the third line. Right, so what if I did A through Z? That's interesting. That's not what I expected. I expected it to work only on the third line. What is context for then? Context. Very useful parameter that you can define the number of lines before and after the match to be displayed. Okay, for example, doesn't matter. I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm getting into the weeds. Let's get rid of context. We're just searching for sec. And ideally what I want to do is I want to, for each object, and then I want to get the string out of it. So $_.split on this. Okay, match info. But I got the line. How do I get the text out of the line? Select object, line. I need to phone a friend. I think I might phone a friend. I have a friend who does some PowerShell. Is it too late to call him? No, it's not late at all. Let me see. First, I gotta plug my phone in. I haven't been charging it much recently for some silly reason. I just haven't been putting it near the charger. Okay, I'm gonna take one more look at this. I'm gonna take. Okay, I'm gonna try a couple more things here. So I think I could do .line.split. Ha! All right, cool. There we go. And then I could probably take this one and call .split again, and then split on, I guess, space. Yes. And then I could take the first one. Ha! Look at that. I used my brain powers. Yes. Okay. All right. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a PowerShell linter. User bin env pwsh. There we go. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, what we should do here is say my key ID equals. And then I don't know what happens when we don't have a key and we run this. I'm out of my depth. I'm not a PowerShell person. And I don't really want to be. But I do want to support Windows. All right, SSH pubkey. I'm gonna copy install.ps1, and this is going to be pretty
easy. All right. Curl gpg-pubkey. All right, that's all good. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go to gpg-pubkey ps1. And I'm just going to take the important bit here and move it somewhere. And I don't actually think that I should have to do the check on this. I should be able to set the directory. Oh, but this is my problem with that, is that I don't know. So this would be my to-do would be fix, whoops. This is the reason that this deserves to be in an if statement, because we have a to-do here, which is fix permissions on a new directory, which I don't know how to do. I wasn't able to figure that out last time. All right, so with this one, I guess there's not really anything that we need to do, though, when it comes to GPG. We don't need to test for a config file. We don't need to test for authorized keys. We don't need to worry about, well, we do want to generate the key, but I don't know that I want to do that here. So if not, key ID, then we would want to run the key generation. So pubkey gpg-pubkey.sh. Let me see. Yeah, this is nasty. I don't want to have to try to do this in PowerShell. I guess it's not that bad. I could translate it. I don't really want to. It's a waste of my time. I want to get other things done. I'm already, what, an hour into this? And I don't have the first pull request done because I'm trying to split it into two different things. So I'm just going to say, you know what? If you use Windows, well, make better choices with your life. The end. For now. You'll need to create a private key first. C webinstall.dev/gpg-pubkey. There we go. I feel good about that. Ugh. I still do need to copy some of this stuff, though. Okay, here's my problem. If you're on Windows, what is the Git folder? Is it _git-config on Windows, or is it still .git-config on Windows? Because on Windows, sometimes, for some reason, they change dots to underscores. And then that breaks things. And do we have a hostname command on Windows? You know, I'm just not going to do the Windows part for this. Or at least I'm not going to do it exactly the same. Okay. So I will run the gpg command to export. And we'll put it out to the file. I think the ampersand in front is what tells it to do variable expansion, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we do need that. Okay, so I think this should work more or less. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines of echo there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines of echo there. So maybe it'll work. If somebody's on Windows and they want to try this out, let me know, because I will. I would love to get some feedback on that. So I think the only thing that's left at this point. Let me go ahead and try again. gpg-pubkey. Downloads the latest one, prints out the pub key, gpg-pubkey, prints out the pub key. Great. So this is working. So I just need to update both readmes, and then I think we're good to go at that point. All right, your GPG public key can be used for signing Git commits and email, among other things. Public key file and zen.asc. GPG pubkey will create a new key pair if you don't already have one. Copy your existing GPG public key to your downloads folder. Print the location of the copy key and its contents to the screen. The easiest way to get your GnuPG public key. Boom, bash. And then downloads john@example.com.gpg.asc for ASCII. And then let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Oh, oops, there we go. Well, let me try that one more time. Whoa, 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 what's going on here? All right, so everything's good to go. Local bin gpg-pubkey how to get your public key ID. There we go. How to export your public key with the gpg command directly. How to create a GnuPG private key. Good. Let's go ahead and put that one in there as well. There we go. All right. We don't need to worry about any of that. Okay, get your using .git config for name and email. All right. Oh, and I don't need this here. The easiest way to get your yeah, sure, whatever. Several lines omitted for brevity. There we go. How to use the GPG. How to use GPG manually. How to get your public key ID. Oh wait, what did it? Huh? I just wrote the same thing twice. How to export your public key. How to create a private key. How to create a private key. Okay, so I'll just make each of these sections now. So, how to get your private key. Secret keys are your keys. Non-secret keys are all keys in your keychain. All secret keys have a public part. Have a public ID. There we go. Have a public key and a public ID. Here's a command to list your secret keys and get the ID of the first one. Which can be viewed in long format. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to paste. Yeah. Let me paste that. And then let me give an example of what that looks like. Let's see. John Doe, mac.local, john@example.com. There we go. The line with the key ID, the public key ID, is this one, is the one that starts with sec. Specifically, it's the part just after the slash. There we go. In this case, all right, I think I just want to move that up. Always put the TLDR as close to the top as you reasonably can. All right, how to get your public keys. Let's see. All secret keys have public public IDs and corresponding public keys. Here's a command to list your secret keys and get the public ID of the first one. Let's see. Let's break that down for good measure. There we go. And then I'll just put a note at the bottom here. Note, it's important that you list the secret keys because listing public keys will show all keys that you trust, not just keys that you own. There we go. i.e. coworkers. There we go. All right, how to export your public key. To copy your public key into your downloads folder, or here's how to copy your public key into your downloads folder. Or if you just want to print it to your console, do this. Run this. Okay. How to create... Oh, and I should probably put this in there. GnuPG public key ID. Just kind of looking through, trying to make sure this will show up in search for the various search terms. Okay. Generally speaking, oh, you know what I should have done? You know what was silly of me? Hold on. I did that parsing. I'm gonna fix this real quick for so if I just run git config user.name, it should return the name. I didn't have to parse the file. Duh. Same thing, user.email. That's what I should do. That's the right way to go about it. I'm going to do that for the PowerShell version. Okay. So gpg-pubkey. That way I don't have to do all that mess. That's a lot simpler. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. That's duh. Okay. So here I could do my name equals, I think that's how it works. Let me go back into PowerShell. Can I do that? Can I do my, whoops, I need to start with the $, my name equals, and then just give it a command? And then I can echo my name, right? Yeah, and I think it's case insensitive. Yeah, it is. All right. In true Microsoft fashion, why make the world a simpler place when you can make it more complicated? Okay, and then I wonder what the Windows command is to get hostname. Windows command to get hostname. I wonder if it's not just hostname. No, Windows. Does this work? Hostname. Interesting. All right, cool. We'll go with that. My host equals host name. I need to get some people to tag for these. Windows tests. PowerShell here doc. Well, I guess I could test this on Linux. I don't think there's any reason I couldn't. Let's just go with my name. I'll just do it this way. There we go. Actually, it'd probably be better to do it that way. Can we do here docs in PowerShell? Here string at quote. What if I do at quote and then quote at? Will that work? I wonder, well, what if we did this instead? What if we took that and we just did an echo and then we piped it? Would that work? Let's try that out. Seems like that should work. Git config user.name. Cool, that works. Sweet. All right, and I canceled it. Huzzah. And I wonder if git config -- global user.name. Will that work too? Yeah, it will. All right, sweet. So we'll do this. Huzzah. I can't believe that worked. Okay, let's try this. All right, let's try matching something that definitely won't match and see if it barfs or not. My key ID. Sweet. Okay, but if we do the right one. Ah, excellent. So if not my key ID, then echo none, else echo some. Excellent. Cool, cool beans. That works exactly the way that I hoped it would. All right, so are we still in PowerShell on this one? Yes, we are. So we want to export this using my, whoops, $, my key ID. So that was painful. That was like pulling off a scab that's a year old. But hey, did it. Ah! Okay. Let's go forward. Oh, what do I need to change about this? The SSH pubkey. Yeah, I'll wrap that in there too. I'll do that afterwards. Okay, so I think this is good. Let's go to the gpg-pubkey. On beta, and let's take a look at it. Get your GnuPG. Can't say that. Can't say it. Can't say it 5 times fast. Can't say it once. Public key. Should it be capitalized? Sure, why not? Copy your new or existing GnuPG public key to your downloads folder. Print the location of the copied keys and its content to the screen of the copied key. And its contents to the screen. There we go. Okay. That's not quite right. Oh, this is what it actually prints out. This is what the output will look like, except much longer. Note, your key is, your public key is the entire section from the first from -- begin all the way to from section starting with and including ... until and including ... Okay. How to get your GnuPG public key. And I think what I am going to do here, I think I'm going to do this. And I think I'm going to also do the PowerShell version because that was useful. Set no number. I wonder if PowerShell allows you to do something like this, where you indent without it strictly being necessary. I'm going to try and see. Let's try this out in PowerShell. Oh, and I would need to do for Windows users, that would look like, or for Windows users, okay. It works. Hello. What a great day. What a great, great day. I got something to work in PowerShell and I didn't even have to boot into Windows. Oh, that's good. That's really, really good. Oh. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Oh, and so Kai, you're I don't know if you're still on the channel, but what I do is I actually have my authorized key at my own website, as you'll see in my Twitter profile. But yeah, that can get difficult to track. I think the GitHub idea is pretty decent. Let's see. But I'm gonna copy video URL at current time. Can I copy it at current time or no? Oh no, I can't copy at current time when you're live. When I'm live. But I'm gonna tweet this. This was a good day. Today something magical happened. I used PowerShell on my Mac to create a script for Windows users. And it worked! And then what time are we at right now? We're right around, let's see, we can go back all the way to negative an hour and 40. So I'm guessing that happened, let's see, around 15 minutes ago. So around an hour and 30 minutes. So somewhere around the 1:30 mark. Okay, cool. That was fun. By the way, I see that there's a few people on the stream. Does anybody want to say hello? Let me know who you are, where you're from, what do you do? I would love to chat a little bit. Okay. This is the kind of thing where I don't know who to share it with. But this was an accomplishment. Truly. It's kind of weird though that with the regular expressions they have to begin with a backslash, but then they can't. I don't know. Something's. Let me see if I can go change this real quick. I guess if I could just put \b here, and that would still probably work. Let's see. Nope, that doesn't work. Interesting. Which is odd, because it should work, because generally \b is considered to be a boundary character, and start of line is a boundary character. Oh, it's now dark. I'm going to, let's see, am I going to change anything with the lighting? I just closed that out. Otherwise, it's the same. Okay. Oh, and I probably should put in here the echo for both of these. Echo my key ID. And same thing here. That was gold. I actually am quite glad that I did this. And I will have to say that it's a little verbose, but I really do like that we have the ability, to call split. I guess it's not that much difference than doing, cut and then F1, cut F, well, I guess it would be F2 here and F1 because cut is one indexed. I think it's one indexed. Yeah, anyway. That is kind of nice. It's kind of interesting that you get objects back from PowerShell commands. All right, anyway, let's continue on here. And all right, how to export, how to create. And I think for this last bit, I think I'm going to show the PowerShell version of this too. Let's see. It's almost identical for the two between Bash and PowerShell. And it can be almost identical. Alrighty. Let's see, git config global user.name. And let's just make that like this. And email we'll do like this, but it'll be email. Ah. Yeah. Generally speaking, you'll want to use the same name and email for Git and GPG, since you probably already have that set up in Git. Here's how you can automate creating a key using the same info as what's in your .git config. All right. And then I'll do here, or for the Windows folk, user ben env pwsh, and then we have here my name equals and my host equals and my email equals. And then we just flippy do this around just a touch. So we say echo. And then we pipe to generate. There we go. Now that's a milkshake that'll bring some boys to the yard, hopefully. In the sense that this is something that was previously super complex and annoying and now is not. Oh, and last thing that I ought to do that should also go into here is how to set up your... Okay, we're gonna... How to automatically sign your Git commits. And also where to, how to trust your GPG key in GitHub. So I'm going to go look at that real quick because I think that's going to be under settings, user settings profile keys, new GPG key. Go to and oh, here. Oh, yes. Go to your GitHub profile, which will be this, if I'm not mistaken. Click, let's see, enter. Go to the SSH and GPG keys. Which is this. Three, add GPG key, which is this. And then paste the output of gpg-pubkey. All right. How to add your GPG public key to GitHub. How to automatically sign your Git commits. So I had this one too. And where was this? Like so. And that should work just as well in Windows. Oh, you know what? You know what I need to print out as well? Your key ID. GPG. Pubkey. Oh, you know what I could do? Here's a thought. Let's go back on this for a second. gpg-pubkey. Let's start with the sh file. We need a nice way to get the ID. Let's just take this and say get pubkey ID. All right, there we are. And then let's put the pubkey ID in here. So we're going to do my email and then my key ID. Whoops. And then let's do something to output the key ID. Key ID GnuPG public key ID. And let's call it like that. And then I'll go do the same thing for the PowerShell, which shouldn't be hard at all. So I think I put an ampersand again because I want the expansion. No, I don't need that. I don't know why we put the ampersand. I'm very confused about that. Does it hurt to put the ampersand there? It's there in the SSH version for Windows, right? SSH pubkey, SSH pubkey PS1. I don't know. right. Okay, let's do it this way. I think this is going to work. My email.mykeyid.gpg.asc. All right, I think that makes sense. And I think I could make another command that is gpg-pubkey ID. I don't know. I think this should be sufficient. Check your public key ID in the output of gpg-pubkey. So I'm going to webby gpg-pubkey and then gpg-pubkey. It's kind of long. Oh, whoops, and I don't need... Let me make sure that I don't put this in either version, the PowerShell or otherwise. That trailing colon doesn't need to be there. And it doesn't need to be there. And I kind of want this to come first. On both of these. All right, let's try that one more time. All right, so I need to update the README to include this as the output. I kind of want to change the 4096 with a 3072. Especially considering... Let me double check that that's the right number. I think it was 3072. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and go with that. And then same thing here. We're going to go 4096, 3072, and we're going to do that in the GPG star.star and in gpg-pubkey star.star. And I am going to include two more things here. we're going to do this. And I'm going to do it for PowerShell as well. There we go. And then we need gpg-pubkey .sh, and we just need to copy out this part here. Bin bash set-e set-u, and then really this should be it. And similarly for the PS1 file. Okay, so that looks about right. Cool. This installs two command. Is it dinner time? All right, I'll come out in just a minute. All right, well, I got to wrap things up. So I guess I think that I'm just going to take another minute to finish up this and then see if I can actually get this published. Well, I'll get it up ready for approval is what I'll do. And then I'll come back and I'll do another session and we'll get through the other 7 PRs, which will not take so long because really what this ended up being was GnuPG. Okay. All right. Okay. To get the output of your GnuPG public key, to get run gpg public key ID to get your GNU ID, and then run the following. And then update your git config Oops. To use it by default. Sign with it by default. All right, there we go. So we'll do the same thing again. Or for Windows users. Yeah, I've got, give me a second. I'm right in the middle of something. I'm almost done. Okay. There we go. My key ID. And we'll just copy this. Oh, and what did I say? Windows users, because we've got 3 different places where the Windows folk can do something, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, here we are. Git add gpg-pubkey. Okay. And I'm just gonna call this here for now, and then go back and make there's a couple tiny changes to make, maybe to the README of the GPG, and then we'll go there. What branch is this? Add GPG? Yeah, so we'll push this. Add SSH star, get diff cached. So let's make sure SSH-pubkey, SSH-pubkey, install SSH-pubkey, install SSH-pubkey. I'm going to do git commit. This is a chore. I don't know, linting update, style update. All right, and I'll have to deal with the rest of this in the next session after Den. Okay, so for those of you that joined in, thanks for joining in. Thumbs up if you got them, thumbs down if you don't. And let me know in the comments if there's other things that you're interested in seeing me do on the weekends or anytime, because there's plenty of stuff that applies to work as well. This is going to apply to work. We're going to start GPG signing our commits. So that was the impetus of this, is I want to make it so that it's easy for, if you don't make it easy to do the right thing, you can't give people a requirement and say, hey, now you need to do this. And then, oh yeah, and the way to do it is it takes an hour, right? So I want to get it to the point of anybody that we onboard, and including the team right now, it's just, hey, run this command, boom. You run this command, boom. You're all set up. Everything's good to go. Your commits are now signed. Huzzah. Anyway, so yeah, with that all said, thanks for joining in. Please join in the future. There's the Discord. If you want access to the Discord, just hit me up, let me know. If you want access to be able to comment with links and stuff on the channel or help moderate the channel, let me know. And I will catch y'all probably in a couple of hours. All right. Adios.